Hello, everyone. Well, I watched Ozempic Trek, and wow. Let me start off by saying that I I am a Star Trek fan, a Trekkie fan, since the original series, and I watch them all when they come out, but I have to say this one kind of threw me off. And why I call it Ozempic Trek, I'll explain in just a moment. This was unexpected in the quality of the acting. I'm going to say some blunt things because it deserves it for what they did. I have racial feelings about it. I have questions about the quality. Now, I'll give you the good things I thought about it. The special effects were really nice. It was so good to see Star Trek World. Because, Star Trek is always got the computers, everything's smooth, neon bright. It looks great. Always. And so I'm having a hard time trying to get through to say what I gotta say about it. And I give the special effects top quality. I say 9 out of 10. And the only reason they get a 10 is because the story wasn't with the special effects. And so the first episode I watched of Starfleet Academy was okay. And it's one of the things you think about more after you see it. It's like, And then I guess I know they're using young actors and trying to get young people in, but this is not the way to do it. They could have had this class already established and called these young people in to assist on a major disaster or something, or led up to it. But they had one spectacular episode with a lot of action in the middle of the first episode, and then hardly anything on the second episode. I think they spent up all the money on the first episode. And a lot of this blame can be given to the producer, director, writer, showrunner. He was doing a little bit too much. And what they needed was a editor to help them. And the reason I call it Ozempic, because all the pretty people that were in it at the beginning, showing the people, most of them were looking anorexic. And that means the star, which is the captain, Holly Hunter. And so, I've watched Holly Hunter for years, but she just wasn't all there for it. I mean, she was trying, you could tell, but I think she just needed some help. One of the helps I think she needed was she needed a hairdresser. They had her flying around like the Wicked Witch of the West. Her hair just all over the place. Got blonde hair. She looks decent, but she always looked disheveled. 100% of the time. I mean, no matter what scene, none of her hairstyle didn't change. I mean, and it was just kind of unnerving to see all this hair. You're in the future, you could really get that taken care of. But then they had the young people, and the star, the young man, I couldn't get into his acting. He was a Latin man, and what's his name? I can't think of his name. I thought I had it on here. George Hopkins as Darren Ramey. Darren Ramey. This was so bad that I had to watch other videos to see what they thought about it. I thought it was just me. Well, lo and behold, the right-wingers are having a party. I watched Dr. Disaster's review, and boy, this is what they've been waiting for. I mean, and the horrible thing was that I had to agree with some of the stuff he said, but he started going off into DEI hires, things like that, and just nasty. So you need to go out and look at old Dr. Disaster, because people like horrible things, and well, he's out there giving those horrible reviews, and this Star Trek did play into it. And how in the world are you going to have a Klingon on that ship? And you're going to hear it too. I'm going to be nice about it. I mean, it was an effeminate Klingon man who looked like he was on Ozempic. Not only was he looking like he was on Ozempic, it was the star of it, the Latin man, Raimi, was thin as a rail. His lady that he liked in here, a very Caucasian woman. And I'm being careful about what I say because I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings and everything, but you know, this love affair with Caucasians that Latin have made me think of the current situation we're in for our country at the moment. I said, you know, why did they have this dark-skinned Latin man just going goo-goo eyes over this very skinny Caucasian lady? And then I had a problem with the black people. Not only was the Klingon effeminate, I don't know if I said it right, but they were, I mean, he's skinny as a rail. I said, what Klingon's not going to exercise and do this? They tried to make out like his attitude is the reason why he was slimmer than a regular Klingon. And then it was like, I listened to Dr. Disaster, and they were just flat out calling him gay. And it's kind of obvious. And so, and as for the young woman that he was attracted to, I mean, she was, let me stop. All right, and the next thing, it all looked like maybe this would have worked if it was an anime cartoon. But what I loved about it was the set design. Everything was just banging on this thing. That it was looking good. It's like they felt like they had to make the electronic sci-fi look to its best to compensate for the inexperience of the actors. And the lead actor for Raimi, he was not good. This boy was always upset, running around, trying to escape, trying to do things the wrong way, one after another. He wasn't learning anything like you would expect a Star Trek person. Now, the reason I like Star Trek is because of the environment. Unlike Star Wars, no, we are not in the desert. We don't have little sand dunes out there, that kind of thing. And I like Star Trek. I mean, Star Wars too. But you know, Star Wars just throws a lot of dust at you on part of their stuff. That's what I like that Star Trek doesn't do. But I was expecting some good things for young people having to face adversary out in space. But I watched the videos of other people, and let me tell you, there is a lot of right-wing as sarcastic people reviewing. I mean, it was just like, as I watched them, I started really, I didn't want to like them because I know where they were coming from. And unfortunately, this version of Star Trek just gave them all the ammunition they needed to talk bad about people. So, yeah, this was not a good run on this for Star Trek. I mean, I watched both episodes at the same time, and well, it it was an exercise in futility. It didn't get better. It didn't make sense. And Gina Ishir, they did that girl wrong. She's a good actress. She's funny. They needed to coddle her better. Even the guest stars, they didn't treat too good. From old Star Treks, from Voyager, they had the Doctor. He was on there, and he gave a perfect explanation for the way he looked. He said he put a aging spell, and not an aging spell, but a aging factor into his programming, so that will make people comfortable as they see him over the years, helping out people. So that made sense. So, and the Doctor's always been somewhat emotional about things like that. So, I think he did a good job. The lesbian that was in one of the episodes was one of the teachers at this academy. She was good, but all of the guest stars were somewhat out of place on this because they were trying to get all the young people to feel comfortable. But I don't think young people are stupid. I mean, unfortunately, on some things, Star Wars did better with the young people. And so I have to give this one a thumbs down. But I like all the other Star Treks. But this one was a rare banging surprise of craziness. And like I said, the young Latin guy chasing after the ultra Caucasian woman that was wearing all white with stark black hair, and he's just pining and goo-goo island over. I mean, I would have been more comfortable if they had her look green or red or pink or brown. Yeah, it was a hot mess. But I'm going to watch the other episodes, and I'm not going to make another video on it because I don't know. You may not want to see another video about Academy Fleet for Star Trek. They kind of just, it was just one bad decision after another. Nobody rescued this thing before it was released. Doesn't look like nobody edited. The only thing they edited was the scientific backgrounds. That's flawless. I mean, it really is. And but the young actors were just not good. No emotion. And then they had the one big girl who's supposed to be like the Doctor, some type of machine. And she was almost like malfunctioning through the whole thing. She was just smiling and making jokes that nobody understood. And she was being an irritant. And of course, that was a black woman. So, this is our right-wing nightmare right here. This is something that they played into their hands and really hurt us old Star Trek fans a lot, because we were willing to give this a wonderful, good try with expectations. You just knew it was going to be good. And then you start watching it, it's like, what? Who? Where? What? You know. But anyway, I hope I didn't offend anybody about any of this, but there's a lot that was just wrong with it. I don't know if the other episodes are going to be able to correct it. Well, that was it. I'll talk about something else to talk to you about. And but when I saw this, I had to just jump up and do a video on it. So everyone, have a good one. It's good to talk to you again. Considering the AI is taking everything, they don't usually look at us conversational people as much as they used to. So I'll just have this out there on the record for Star Trek. Take care, everyone.